Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the A Collision with Purpose project Under the Spotlight. Here, individuals are given the opportunity to explore themselves in pursuit of their purpose. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and I'm your host. The A Collision with Purpose project allows individuals to pause, take a quiet moment and listen, be introspective, and engage self-reflection in pursuing their purpose to unleash possibilities with far-reaching implications for self and others. Today, the Collision with Purpose project spotlight is on Miss Anya Grant. Miss Grant is a boss marketer for a digital marketing firm, and she is a heart healer. Let us welcome Miss Grant to the Collision with Purpose project Under the Spotlight.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful introduction. Thank you so much for having me. I am really excited, and I just want to say thank you for having me. So that is right. I do help women and families look and feel younger without giving up carbs or working out. And I do that by helping them gain the courage to take the next step to whatever their heart desires.
You know, you talk about courage and you talk about heart desire, whatever. So that's big stuff there. And we're going to get an opportunity to dive into that. How about that?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Awesome. So I must say that it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Collision with Purpose project Under the Spotlight. You know, I'm looking forward to having an engaging, insightful, and interactive conversation with you about a topic which I believe is arguably one of the most consequential concepts in forming how we operate as individuals and ultimately what we perceive as our legacy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that would be?
So we're going to talk about purpose, right? Okay. Your purpose. You're going to be given the opportunity to explore your purpose on this platform. So are you ready to do it?
Yes, I'm super nervous, but I'm ready. Put myself out there.
And nervous is a good state to be in, you know, that means that you're stepping into territories that's routine, and that's a good thing, and hence exploring and in pursuit of. It's a good place to be.
Awesome.
So, Ms. Grant, take me back to your early days, your early beginning. What was life like?
Okay, so first off, I must say that a lot of people might be looking at me like early days, and she in her 20s. I get that all the time. And so I just want to clear that out. I'm seasoned, well marinated in this thing called life. And so to answer your question, my early days, I was super fearful of everything. I was fearful of getting accepted into college or university because I went to school in Canada. And I was just fearful for any little thing that I had to come outside of my comfort zone. So anything that involved starting a new job or opening a new bank account, like every little thing scared me. And so that's where the courage, I had to develop the strength to take courage to get myself into uncomfortable situations so I can continue to challenge myself. And so my early days consisted of not trusting myself ultimately, not trusting and listening to my inner voice. What is the next right step? Taking that pause, like you mentioned before, and really trusting that whatever the outcome is, it is bringing me to where I need to be. And so it took me years to actually surrender into that and appreciate that. Even right now, where I'm in this stage of my life where I am dating and I'm trying to have the expectation of like my next right partner. And that might bring me back to my old ways of doing things. Like, oh my God, I'm so afraid. Oh, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to date. And so it's constantly reminding myself, okay, Anya, slow down. You're not into any huge rush. Take a break. What's coming to you will come to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What was your childhood like, family and, siblings?
Yeah, so I grew up in Jamaica with my grandma and my aunts, and I left Jamaica when I was 12 to move with my dad in Canada. And that in itself was a traumatic move. If you really think about it, like I'm moving from family, non-traditional family, where it was my grandma who was really taking care of me, my aunt who was also a provider for our household. And then here I am trying to develop a relationship with my parents, right? So my father and his wife, who I now call my second mom, and then building a relationship with my biological mom. So that was a whole different transition into getting to know who I am, how I became into this dynamic, right, family dynamic, and how I was able to find joy, be able to release my anger, my anxiety as a child, like at 12 years old, 13 years old, and then move into a country that I had no idea, like different seasons, and you have winter and you have fall, and then you have cultural differences that I had to simulate too. So there's a lot of moving parts that I feel I was resilient to make it through because I didn't know any other way. And I had very supportive parents, even though you can think about it, like think about the dynamic of mom and father, never really been together, kind of separated. And then you have the disagreements and how should Anya be raised? And how can she not forget her culture? And don't forget those who were there for her in the beginning. So there was a lot of friction in that family dynamic. And if I had to do it again, the wisdom that I have gathered now, I would probably have to school my parents in how to properly take care of me at that time. But that was my childhood. It was beautiful. Like I took music classes. My grandmother made sure I did the best activities. So I did dancing, singing, poetry. I was very close to the arts. And when I moved to Canada, and that's probably the one thing that stuck with me in terms of carrying me through these many different dynamics of life, is the art form. Like I fell in love with dance and music and culture, and that kept me grounded into who I've become.
So out of that, so many different dynamic situation that was the makeup of your early childhood, many wonderful things happen. Many wonderful things. So I think this is an awesome story right there in itself, because what you've done quite clearly is you utilize your sense of purpose and that meaning from it, which you're carrying today. And I'm sure it's informing who you are.
Absolutely. Yes, it has. When I stop and reflect on the woman that I am today, the vibrancy, like I still have my culture. And I can bring it out when I want to. I still keep myself young and vibrant and fun. Everything that I do, that's one value that I really take away. And everything that I do, there has to be fun and playfulness. And so that I feel kept me going through like painful times, in the good times. And now it's just part of who I am.
Awesome. We're here to talk about purpose, and you gave such a wonderful introduction to your purpose. I'm going to ask you, given the consequential implications of purpose, I think a good place for us to move into now is for you to define purpose and do so in the most general way you can.
Absolutely. So for me, purpose is like a light that is in tuned within, that motivates an individual to wake up and choose life. And I say that because life is filled with so many ups and downs and turns and twists and turns. Like you can, if you think of the simplest thing, for example, I'm going through a process where I got to update my tags for my car. And within purchasing a new car became so many challenges on top of the various different components of my life that I have to manage, deal, and keep together, that glue. But yet, if I did not have a purpose where I'm waking up and I'm grateful to carry on that mission every single day, I would allow these little things to bug me down. So I feel like with purpose, it's this light that keeps us alive, like keeps an individual alive to just wake up and choose life, no matter what the condition is.
It's your reason for getting up tomorrow and wanting to do it all over again.
Do it all over again. Absolutely.